Hello, everyone. My name is Roopa Sunku, and I bring to you another episode of Career Elevations from Touch a Life Foundation and Touch a Life Radio. Today, I have the proud privilege of introducing to you another educator who has done so much for the paths of education and successfully moved into the education space in a multitude of levels. I bring to you Naga Tummala. Welcome, sir.
Hi, Roopa. Thank
Very
you
good.
for having me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm sure you're going to inspire many a person listening to this show on how and where to converge or pivot on their own journeys with the success story that you're about to share with us. So Naga, tell us what you are doing today and what are your current positions in these organizations that you're associated with.
We have exited from our almost 20 years of activity, Oak Ridge International Schools in the year of 2019. And for last 1.5 years, I am again back into education with Inner Score. In the K-12 space, we are building apps for teachers, students, and parents. Currently, we are prototyping students and parents apps. Recently, we have launched Teachers app. I am the CEO and co-founder of Inner Score.
Fantastic. So basically, you're an educator, entrepreneur at heart. So that's wonderful. So how did your journey begin with this whole school space or the educator space? Where did your origins in the academic field begin? And how have you moved into the CEO and founder or an entrepreneur by heart?
So, like most youth, I was trying to do many things when I was 22, 24 at that age. And also I was trying to get into civil services. I was unsuccessful on many fronts. And at the age of 25, myself and my childhood classmate, Rajshekhar, we have started Vikas from Visakhapatnam. It was a +2 junior college. Those days focused on MSET. So it was like a quite a tedious, hard journey of 3 decades where we have reached today. So we are into education primarily most of the time. Some 12, 13 years ago, we also got into hospitality food business with a food court 7 in between Vijayawada and Hyderabad.
Interesting. So you are taking care of 2 basic needs of a human being, food and education. That's fantastic. That's really good. So what is your academic or your educational background, Naga?
I did a master's in mathematics long back. After that, in 2012, I went to ISB and I did executive MBA, PGP Max. And of course, ever since I did many courses, executive programs, be it at Singularity University or INSEAD or other places.
Fantastic. So what perked your interest to go into the educational track per se, as you did talk about pursuing civil services and then navigating your path over to the educational forte?
So we didn't have money to do big businesses that time. We were evaluating what can be that where with your involvement and effort, you can create something that is more meaningful. We found education is a place where it is not by money investment, rather it is human effort with your passion and commitment. Probably we can create value for ourselves and a decent and meaningful living for us. That is how we started. But however, quickly figured out that there is so much of falling in that space, started enjoying what we were doing, and we could do many wonders. Those days, MSET exam used to be in Andhra Pradesh, combined state, was most popular. And we were the first to get 200 by 200 in MSET
Nice.
that was ever heard of. Like that, so we were enjoying while doing. So that took us to Oak Ridge. So again, in 2001, we have started Oak Ridge. So every classroom was internet connected. Then the Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu came for inauguration, and he felt surprised to see classrooms were internet connected when his office was not yet internet connected. So like that, we are learning and doing probably ahead of times, and I'm continuing to enjoy the space.
I'm so excited and eager almost to listen to your response on this next question that I'm about to ask. And the question is, what inspires you to kind of think ahead, and what motivates you to forge ahead to these sort of new ideas and introduce these sort of new avenues for the kids in the education space?
I probably consider 2-3 main reasons. One important thing is having right mentors. Probably we are fortunate to have right mentors at right time. That is the primary thing. The second thing is also me and Rajshekhar, we are continuous learners. And in the learning process, we also synthesize what happens just not in the education space, in every other space, be it hospitality, be it technology, be it beauty, fashion, anywhere. We synthesize those trends and developments, bring to education what it is applicable and it is going to be appreciated. So we probably also are risk takers as a result. When we do these things, we don't fear, rather we feel excited.
That is so beautiful.
And a friend of ours was telling, you guys are good at creating Taj Mahals.
That is just wonderful. And I think there's one thing that you didn't mention, which is pretty apparent. You have talked about the partnership of your school friend, Rajshekhar, kind of working with you. So a question of having a mentor, having a network, having the risk-taking capabilities within your thinking, and additionally synthesizing the various trends that are in the marketplace and bringing it over to your own pillar of education. That's just fantastic. So tell me, who inspired you, or what were your family bounds or family norms or family learnings that you brought into this innovative you in the education space?
Probably the way we were raised. I think we were from a small town from near Vijayawada. Nuzweed is the place where we went to school, the vernacular Telugu medium. My father used to run a small school where myself and Rajshekhar studied in that school, and I don't see anybody has consciously did anything. But the way we were brought up were like values were given so much of weightage. And there are many such circumstantial, rather I can say we were fortunate.
I think, being a constant learner and hardworking and being that risk taker that you talked about, along with the influences that innately became you or your personality, has definitely carved your bit. So if I were to ask you, who is somebody that you have seen as a mentor in your own journey, and how did you stumble or come across that mentor, and how did you stay connected to be able to walk through the 30 years, like you talked about, of struggles and tribulations that gets you to talk about your success today?
There were many mentors in our life at every stage, and that mentor at that time was so vital. However, I can refer to our mentor Shomi Das, with whose influence we started Oak Ridge. Me and Rajshekhar, when we were looking for a good school, to start a good school, we went on a journey to understand what makes a good school, though we were in education. And in the process, we visited about 100 schools within the country.
Wow.
Just to know what makes a good school. And when we went to Doon School, we got to know that the recently retired headmaster, Mr. Shomi Das, is helping people to set up schools. So we just took a phone number from nearby place. Those days, mobile phones were not there. So luckily, he was at home in Dehradun, and he said, "Okay, come down." So we went, and then the rest is story. So I must have spent with him maybe thousands of hours. So to the extent, after his wife's death, he relocated to Hyderabad, though his son is in Dehradun, with a confidence that he will be better in Hyderabad with us at the age of 84. Now
Wow.
he's 80. And he's tutor to Prince Charles. Now he is the Rajguru.
Amazing. You did not carve just paths, but you actually made history. That's fantastic. I really appreciate you sharing your thoughts about mentorship. But I think the other intriguing piece of advice that you shared with us is venture out, look at all the combinations of what is out there to understand what kind of services and what kind of a business you're entering, one, and secondly, to understand what makes the quotient for a successful venture that exists already. So that's beautiful. 100 schools is a lot, but I'm sure you learned so much and were able to almost eventualize what your ideas would look like from the different interviews or data points that you were able to get out of the 100 schools. That's fantastic. So tell me a little bit about your personal life. How do you cope and how do you manage with all of these busy days of making successful businesses thrive?
Me and Rajshekhar both enjoy traveling. So we travel almost every month to a new place. So it involves both work strategy sessions as well as absorbing things from different things that happens there. So no matter where from we pick a clue, it is very difficult to relate or connect. We learn from observation. So travel is such a great fascination for both of us. Yeah,
that's beautiful. All right. So you have just dropped so many nuggets of interest. And one last thing I want to ask you. So you are an educator at heart and discovered that education was a simple enough business to venture on with less capital and more hard work and learning. Is there any advice that you want to share with our listeners at those pivotal points of starting something for themselves?
So some people have a lot of clarity in what they want to do, and some people don't have clarity. They just pick what is available at that point of time. I feel both are working. There is nothing like one is better than the other. Whatever you pick, give your best to it, then you start enjoying it. As you enjoy it, you are going to see success.
Beautiful, beautiful. Very nice. I just love every bit of your simplicity and the adventure in your voice and your thoughts to get where you are. I would like to just thank you so much for joining us today at Touch a Life and talking to us on career elevations. And listeners, please tune into TALRadio and listen to many such stories, and especially call out to Naga, who has given us some very simple thoughts, yet very balanced with his family, with his friends, and his business. So thank you again, everyone. And listen to us and share some feedback on any such personalities that you would like to be introduced to. Thanks again.